Conflict between elected government officials and appointed so-called gatekeepers in Israel has been rising consistently over the last few years, with those elected to power now again questioning how appointees seem to have so much more power than they do. The issue is especially relevant now following infighting between Deputy Attorney General Dina Zilber and Justice Minister Ayelet. Zilber today appeared at a Knesset committee hearing in spite of Shaked saying that she would take her place over politically charged statements that Zilber previously made. And joining me now with more is attorney Gal Babayoff. Gal, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for inviting.
All right, so first of all, tell us a little bit about this problem. What is it? Could you expand on that a little bit more?
Sure. Basically, what we've seen in the past decade in Israel is an expansion of power by appointed officials who've taken the power to themselves. The guidelines for Israel's public service is very simple. An attorney and any elected official has the power to do what he's been elected to, is legislate. But we have these appointed officials, they could be lawyers, they could be general managers of sort, that have taken powers that have not been issued to them for the fact that they feel that they need to be a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper, that means they will have to keep the balance between what the legislative branch wants to do and what we or they feel they deem should be done.
Is that not, to a degree at least, is that not what these gatekeepers or these appointees are supposed to do? Are they not supposed to balance out government to any degree?
They're supposed to balance out between legislative needs and what we'll call a political agenda is of every minister in the various ministers. But the problem is that we've seen an expansion of powers that have been taken by these appointed officials by saying we cannot defend an elected government's decisions or a minister's cause of action, to a point where they are frightened to go into court to defend a minister's idea or way of thinking or even a decree that has been signed.
But again, I kind of want to press that a little bit further. Let's take the Attorney General or court appointees. If an elected official who may not have a background in law legislates something that maybe negates a previous law or acts against it, or maybe against laws that or agreements that Israel agreed to internationally, isn't it their job to say this is indefensible? We can't do that.
Talking about elected officials is one thing. When talking about appointed officials at various crossroads, and we'll take the legal aspect, which is something I a little bit understand, and we'll talk about it. The official guidelines of the Israeli Public Service states that a consulate officer has to ensure that the minister will be able to implement his way of thinking or his policies by means of law. Means it's a very clear-cut case. It has to be black and white. You do not have to put anything that is more, we'll call it deferral of politics or policies, to a way that we say that is very simple. There's the law. You have to abide by these certain laws. I cannot go in and say, listen, you want to do something that's a bit different, I won't protect you, or I won't go into court and talk about that point.
So, okay, how is this affecting the government's ability to function?
The government appoints legal officials in order for them to consult the various branches, the legislative branch or the government branch, the government itself.
Sure.
If these appointed officials take the liberty to go off point, to give their personal opinions, to give their personal values into a conscious decision that they have to make, we are at a point where an elected official, a minister, cannot effectively act out the duties that he was elected for, to the point where we've seen this very disturbing argument between Minister Shaked and Attorney General Zilber,
sure.
Two very important figures in the Ministry of Justice, arguing about the fact that one person is giving her political or her viewpoints into what has to be policy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.